There's a term we need to define, something that explains why you think you're informed, even when you're not in control of your information. Let's call it passive awareness. It's the illusion of knowledge. You didn't search for it. You didn't seek it out. It was selected for you, curated, optimized, delivered through an algorithm designed to shape what you know and what you don't. You feel like you're making choices, like you're in the know, but you're only aware because someone or something decided what you were allowed to see. And that's the trap. You don't resist the system because it made you believe you're already outside of it. That's the genius of digital feudalism. It manufactures awareness so you stop searching for truth yourself. Have you noticed something strange? Everyone's tired, burned out, distrustful, disconnected, but also constantly online, constantly watching, and constantly being watched. Something about the modern world feels off, and maybe it's because the systems running it weren't built to serve you. They were built to control you. We're not living in a democracy. We're not heading toward utopia. We're entering a new age of techno-feudalism. And the worst part? You've already been cast in the story. Let's rewind. In medieval feudalism, the structure was simple. Kings and elites at the top, nobles enforcing the rules beneath them, and at the bottom, serfs, people who worked the land but owned nothing. They had no voice, no power, just obedience in exchange for survival. Now let's update that model. At the top today, tech billionaires, the digital royalty. They don't rule countries, they rule infrastructure, platforms, algorithms, data. They own the digital land. Beneath them, corporate entities, content gatekeepers, algorithmic enforcers, AI moderators and surveillance infrastructure, the nobles, and at the bottom, us, the users, the workers, the content creators, the digital serfs. We build content on land we don't own. We pour our lives into platforms that can erase us with a click. We trade our data for dopamine and call it freedom. But this new feudal system isn't enforced by swords or taxes. It's enforced through incentives. They didn't have to force you to stay online. They made it irresistible. They didn't have to ban your rebellion. They monetized it. Let's talk about that, because here's where it gets truly dystopian. Even your dissent has become profitable. The system learned that anger engages, outrage spreads, and rebellion, that's just another niche. So now, every protest becomes content. The algorithm doesn't care if you're fighting for truth or spreading lies. It only cares if you're engaging. Every reaction is data. Every share is a signal. Every movement becomes monetizable. You've heard of, the revolution will not be televised. But in this world, the revolution isn't just televised. It's edited, branded, and optimized for watch time. This is the monetized revolution. And it goes deeper, because while you think you're fighting the system, you're still using their tools, still feeding their platforms, still growing their empire. Even rebellion has been absorbed into the feed. Now, let's go psychological. In this system, you're not just losing power. You're losing yourself. Welcome to the era of main character syndrome. We're all performing, curating, crafting our personal brand. Our feed becomes our identity. Our life is measured in engagement. You're led to believe you're the hero of your own journey. But the transformation that should come at the end of the journey never arrives. Because this isn't a journey. It's a feedback loop. As Jung warned, the more we lean into persona, the further we drift from the shadow, the part of us that's real but uncomfortable. We're not expressing identity anymore. We're cosplaying it. We filter reality through aesthetics. We record instead of experience. We post instead of feel. And in the pursuit of authenticity, we've become more scripted than ever. But this isn't just individual, it's tribal. Algorithmic tribalism has fragmented society into micro-identities. Hyper-niche digital tribes, not defined by belief, but by algorithmic engagement. You're not just shown what you like, you're shaped by what you engage with. And as you consume more of a certain kind of content, the algorithm nudges you deeper into that identity. It tells you who your enemies are, what to be outraged by, what your values should be. These aren't organic tribes, they're engineered ones, and they're profitable. Because division drives clicks, outrage builds momentum, and tribal identity creates customer loyalty. This is not community, it's behavioral segmentation. So ask yourself, are you thinking freely, or are you just reacting predictably? And here's where it all connects. In the new Techno-Feudal order, your identity, your rebellion, your empathy, they're all for sale. Even your emotions are no longer yours. Let's talk about the weaponization of empathy. Empathy is supposed to connect us, but now it's being directed, amplified, and commodified. A tragedy goes viral, and suddenly you're bombarded with curated sadness, crying influencers, melancholy music, performative mourning. You're told what to feel, how much to feel, and when to move on. It's empathy on a schedule. Why? Because emotion drives engagement, and engagement drives profit. So they feed you heartbreak when it retains attention. They serve you rage when it boosts comments. They monetize your compassion. This isn't empathy anymore. It's emotional programming. And if your feelings can be programmed, they can be deployed. And once they can be deployed, they become a weapon. This is the core of Techno-Feudalism. Not just control of your labor, control of your mind, your time, your emotions, your identity. But the system has one weakness. It requires your participation. And here's the twist most people miss. Feudalism only worked when people believed in it, when they accepted their role. But belief can break, and when it does, empires fall. That's the opportunity in front of us. To stop reacting, to start noticing, to unplug, even for a moment, to rebuild trust offline, to reclaim identity not as performance, but as practice, to find truth not in trends, but in thought. Because the platforms don't fear outrage, they fear disconnection. And if enough people stop playing their role in the system dies. You are not a SERF. You are not a brand. You are not just a data point. You are human. So act like it. Start now, because in a world designed to distract you, the most radical act is simply paying attention.